Hi, Victoria here, author of Zest for Success, owner and director of the Bookkeeper Hub and HBA and Compass, and I'm back in the car with another episode of how the Bookkeeper Hub is building its business using the Zest for Success method. So yesterday we had a brief chat about our target market. Did you love that Rolling Stones metaphor? The more I think about it, I mean, it's horrible to think of these guys are now seriously old men. But when you're talking about your target market, sometimes you need to think outside the square and really work out who it is that you're talking to. Well, I've got some notes again. Today we're going to be talking about your market in depth. And the first thing is the market capacity. So when you come up with a great idea for a product or a service, you have to think about how big the market is for that product and service. And is there the capacity for the market to have a new player in the market? Because remember that you're going to be starting out small. If there's big guys out there, they can play hard and against you. And you need to make sure that whatever it is that you're selling, there's going to be a big enough market that you're going to sell to. We've said that you've got a product, we've said that it's viable, but you need to make sure that you're going to be able to sell enough of them to warrant a viable business. So the target market's important, but the capacity of the market is just about as vitally important. And while you're doing that, have a good look at your competitors. You want to see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and seeing how you can do it better, cheaper, smarter than they are. And one thing to remember, that differentiating yourself on price, particularly trying to make yourself the lowest price, is not the way to get into a market. The big guys can sustain a loss on products a lot longer than you can, have a lot bigger resources, and really getting into a whole discounting cycle is the quickest way to the bottom. It's a lose-lose situation. I know when I was a kid, we had a caravan at Fraser Island, and we used to go over every weekend because there was a barge war on. There were two barge companies, and the prices got lower and lower and lower as the newcomer tried to put the older guy out of business. Now, in this situation, that the newcomer did have a bucket load of cash, and he also happened to own one of the pubs on Fraser. And it got to the stage where you'd go to the barge on a Friday night to go over, and his barge not only was free, but you got a carton of beer. Think how long that could last for and what it did to the other guy. Needless to say, for 20 odd years, there was one competitor. From then on, he got the other guy out of the market. Now, I'm not suggesting that's a great tactic, but you've got to remember that there's always other people with longer, deeper pockets than yours, and a price-driven campaign to the bottom is really not the way to go. So, sorry, went off on a tangent there. I'm going to have a look at the 4 Ps of marketing. Now, these are my 4 Ps. Different people and different marketing gurus, I suppose, have different Ps, but these are the ones that I'm going to talk about. So the first one is your purpose. The second one is your USP. The third one is your package. And the fourth one is promote. So let's have a look at your purpose first. So what is your purpose? Why did you go into business in the first place, and what do you want to achieve out of it? And that's something that needs to come across in all your marketing messages. So for instance, the Bookkeeper Hub. What is our purpose? Why did we go into business? I can tell you that one really easily. We're a bunch of accountants, and we were sick of getting bookwork given to us that was in a crud state. It meant that we spent hours and hours fixing it or redoing it, and then not being able to charge the client for it because they didn't see the value in it. And we knew that Xero was an awesome product, and we could get the bookkeeping done quickly and efficiently and get a great outcome for us and a great outcome for our clients. So we can now produce the bookkeeping on a fixed fee going forward. You know where you stand, and the accountants know when they pick up one of these files that the information that's in there is correct, and they love picking up those files and working with it because it just makes their job so much easier, and then means that in the time budget they've got to do a job, they've got time to perhaps give some advice to the client to help them grow their business. That's our purpose. Our purpose is to help people. I mean, our tagline is because you've got better things to do. That's because we'd rather see you go out and play with the kids or go for a surf than spend your Saturday morning sitting there entering information into a computer system only to be told by your accountant that you stuffed it up. What a horrible way to go. And then you talk about your UCP, your unique champion's position. Some people call it a USP, unique selling proposition. Exactly the same. What is it that you do that is different to anybody else? Now, it's really hard sometimes when you're out there doing the same job as everyone else. I mean, you think about a plumber. You're a plumber who goes out and plumbs new buildings. They're dime a dozen. But what makes you the champion of what you do and makes the builders that you work with choose you over your competitors? And I can guarantee it's usually not price. Sure, there's some people that are extremely price sensitive and there's nothing you can do about that. But generally it comes back to something that you do that no one else does. It might be service. It might be the speed that you can get there if they call you because something's urgent. It could just be that you're really good at your job and they know that they can ask you to do a task and it's going to be right 100% of the time. So what you want to do is make sure that whatever it is that you're marketing in this, that you're talking about the experience that your customer is going to get from dealing with you. So we get it right the first time. We're available 24 hours a day, guaranteed to be there within 45 minutes. There's one plumber that I heard of in Brisbane that has built his business massively because what he does is his guys go out and go on a job and they give him a call generally about 10 or 15 minutes before they're finished, and he hops in his car and goes over, and just after they've been there, he knocks on the door, introduces himself as the owner of the business, goes in with his bucket and makes sure that wherever it is that they were is spotlessly clean. I mean, how's that? That's just an amazing thing to do. And you think about the owner of a business cleaning up a toilet that the plumber's been in. But what it does for the homeowner is they know that this service is going to be provided. They know that the plumbers come in and don't make a mess. And the boss really prides that and makes sure that it is spotlessly clean when it finishes. I know if I had a tradie in my house, I'd love them to clean up after themselves. Some do, some don't. The ones that don't usually don't get asked back. And then we talk about our package. Now I'm going to read this one off because it's a little bit deeper. And it's about the rewards for you as well as the rewards for your customer. And it's not about your own personal rewards. It's about packaging any marketing that you're doing so it's explaining to your customers the why of what you do, the process what you do, and the payoff that your customer is going to do. Now, there is a recommended split for this, and this is 20% is your purpose, your why. 10 to 15% is your process. Remember the other day I was talking about the guy at BNI who was talking about his VoIP system, his phone system, and he got in there and talked about all the technology, and that's all he spoke about. He didn't talk about his why, he didn't talk about his purpose, and then he didn't talk about the benefits of what you're going to get. So with them, what's in it for me? And that really needs to be between 65 and 70% of your marketing. What is in it for me? What is your customer going to get from dealing with you? And lastly, we're talking about promotion. Now, promotion has many varied forms as far as marketing and advertising goes, and I'm not even going to try and delve into them. I'm a bookkeeper and an accountant. I'm not a marketing guru. I'm just giving you the background here so that you can understand what to do and how to do it. And the best analogy that I can give you is to think about promotion like farming. Okay? You've got a farmer, he goes out, he plows the field, he plants his crop, he weeds his field, and then months and months later, he goes in and harvests his crop. That's called farming, as opposed to hunting, where you go out, you source what it is that you're hunting, you shoot them, and you take them home. When we're talking about marketing, we're talking about farming rather than hunting. You want to go out and you want to promote what you're doing get a loyal tribe of followers, and then you start to sell to them. If you go out and meet someone and try and shove your business or your product down their throat like a hunter, they're just going to back off and say, you know what, I'm not interested. I hate being sold to. But if you can provide people with information that's useful to them and then gradually sell them to whatever your product or service is, then it's a win-win situation. Think about what we're doing here. Yeah, I'm telling you my secret. It's not a massive secret. We've decided that from the Bookkeeper Hub that for us to be able to help our clients build their businesses from scratch is a service that we can provide because we've got that knowledge. Went out and wrote the book, Zest for Success for Startup Businesses. And now doing these video services is explaining to you the concepts that are in the book, you know, in a way that might be easy to understand because not everyone likes reading. But what it's doing is it's getting you used to us, that we're here, that we care for you, that we really want to do a good job. And then over time, we'll introduce you to our services. We're not going to shove it down your throat. Every few sessions, we talk about different services that we have. And one day when you're ready to buy, you're going to think, you know what? I'm going to use the Bookkeeper Hub. So that's using Zest for Success method, talking a little about the 4 Ps. And tomorrow we're going to talk about making the most of your marketing, getting the best bang for your buck. I'll see you tomorrow.